This is a video chart presentation of Richmont Mines, Inc. Richmont Mines trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange under ticker RIC. See, going back into June, stock was trading in a pretty tight range. Found a bottom here at $1.21, then started to make a climb. Found some resistance at $1.62, but then early in August, stock just took off, basically doubled in value, consolidated back to the $2 mark, but wrapped last week up with 2 green days, came out on Monday and rose again. And right now it's facing some resistance at $2.50. And it's a chart we want to keep an eye on to see if that resistance is going to fall. You can see volume picked up just a little bit over previous days. Still pretty thin, 124,000 shares traded. But on the whole, the stock just doesn't trade a ton. You can see even on a high volume day, only gets up near 800,000. So a little bit of the increase in volume, combined with the 3 green days, is enough to pay attention to this chart to see how it's going to perform. Now we can see the MACD histogram bars were rising back towards zero. Now it has popped through to the positive side of things. That tells us a bullish cross. The MACD passing through the signal line just happened. It's a sign of a short-term trend shift. Now we just look for both components to move their way into positive territory. That's a much stronger sign for bullishness and trend and momentum. You can also notice that the slow stow was climbing, lending to the idea that the momentum was building. Now starting to break through the upper half of that indicator. Similarly with the money flow index, making the higher lows, breaking through 50. And you can see what happened earlier on in the year when the money flow made a similar type of move. That's when the stock price just took off. Now it's not the be all end all, there's no guarantees, but it's worth watching to see if this pattern is going to repeat itself, because we're definitely getting signs of momentum building. That goes for the relative strength index, probably the most commonly used gauge of momentum. The 14 right now at 54. Readings above 50 indicate the bulls are taking control of momentum. Ultimately, it comes down to the candles, and what we'll be looking for from the support side of things is this bottom support. This is actually 204. This was 207 low. We'll be looking for that to hold on any deeper pullback, but in the more near term, we'll be looking right there around $2.30. With just a little bit of support, a little bit of resistance, but it also happens to basically be the middle of the Bollinger Bands. And we want to see charts that are trading on the upper half of the Bollinger Bands. So if this stock pulled back immediately and fell back below that level, it'd be an increase in the odds it's going to take out this bottom the third time around. With the momentum building and the 3 straight up days, we're looking for upward pressure immediately, and that means taking out a resistance at $2.50. If it does, there's definitely some intermittent resistance right here around $2.75, but not another primary resistance until this old high at $3.07. Now beyond that, you actually have to look back a couple years to see where the next level of resistance is going to be. That's going to be up around $3.50, which is obviously a pretty substantial move from closing at $2.45 on Monday. And it just keeps the idea of this pattern coming off the bottom of channeling upward, making higher highs and higher lows intact. And that's the type of thing that we're looking for with the Richmont Mines chart. A lot of mining plays have had a tough time this year, but here's one that's held in, and technically speaking, it has a very sound look at this point, and we think it's one worth paying attention to going forward to see how it performs. But as always, it's merely my interpretation of the RIC chart. I'm not a financial consultant. Strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure, and do not base any investment decisions upon any material found on the website and/or its video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.